Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Warden and the Paunch, where, as you can see, I've started Grimgor's army. We are recruiting in 3 turns. We're going to have a hell of a force, very Black Orc focused, as of course a Grimgor army should be. Get some boar boys. In addition to the 16 units we're going to take on here, I also intend to grab the Lava Arachnarok from the last WOG, and probably like the Swamp Things and the Broken Tusks, and then also a wizard of some type. I'm not actually sure what we want to use here. Again, I would like to have a trained up troll shaman, just because we don't have one in any of the other armies, and I do think that School of Magic is quite useful, especially for a very melee focused army like this one. Can we recruit that hero type here? No, we need a hag hut. We need the troll building, right? Where is my nearest the troll building? This province doesn't have one because we have a chaos troll there instead, which is, now that they've added new kinds of trolls, maybe, I guess thematically it makes sense for it to just be the normal trolls here, but these guys are so hard to justify ever using in your army now that there are different kinds of trolls available. Where on earth do we have a troll recruitment thing? Okay, there's one at the Brass Keep. Is that the closest one? And there's one in Red Eye Mountain. Honestly, neither one of those are particularly close. What level do we recruit at here? Level 3? Oh, right. I spent actually all of our money putting that army together. Okay, we'll worry about this next turn then. Somebody has unassigned skill points. It's a person who doesn't actually benefit from them. Alright, but that'll be the last time. So, obviously, Rachnik needs to finish burning down this army. No reason that Ava Griefbringer should get to survive. And then... Wizard doesn't really need a sword, but fine. And then I guess we're just pressing forward to the Longshift Graveyard. I mean, we want to burn that down, we know that. Let's get into replenishment mode. Hopefully the WOG army will finish filling up quickly. I mean, Wulfric he's not even in recruitment stance, notice. So he can't even be recruiting anything. Like, he's just going to have him alone in this army at the start of his turn. So he's doomed. And my point is, he's done for. Alright, let's have Azhag go and grab this. You know what I like is money. I'm not actually sure that we're in position to defeat a foe in battle. Sometimes we get these like little dinky 10-guy armies that are all just the most basic pirate unit, but sometimes it's like 16 units and there's cannons and stuff, and Azhag's army's pretty screwed up. I'm going to take this. We're just going to take the smaller amount of money. We're going to use that to hire ourselves a troll. And you just keep healing up. We probably would have been fine the other way, but we don't need any more slowdowns here. And I think Azhag is going to Ulthuan at this point. I mean, we could, I suppose, have him run up and help out with this stuff, but I think 2 armies in Norska is probably good enough. Sawspug Backbiter, you could assassinate that random agent, but honestly I think it's probably more valuable to just get a sense of what all is going on over here so that we know what Grimgor's in for. Huglug Bloodreaper is still headed down towards Sartosa. He'll get there eventually. And then, like I said, we do now have the money, so let's go ahead and recruit one of these troll casters and send them in the right direction. Is this the wrong... Here we go. Giant River Troll Hag. So we have a Braga, which is not very impressive. Disciplined, which gives leadership and melee attack to the entire army. Yeah, alright. That's the one. Gert Gutwrencher, welcome aboard. Yes, that's correct. You're a River Troll Hag. Makes me a little nervous that I think we recruited a Pokemon by accident there. And then, is anybody in a position to fight who does not have full scrap yet? Yeah, you guys should definitely have upgrades. Because boy oh boy, do we have a lot of scrap. And then I was doing bonus versus large with the Black Orcs in this army, and I think that makes a lot of sense. Nope, this thing just disappeared. Okay, longer weapons, and what about... I mean, Outside's not close to combat, but also we don't really have that many other people who are desperate for scrap. Although I guess, actually, all of the units left in his army require such huge amounts of scrap that he can't do anything anyway. Alright. Hey, Skaven. How you feeling about me right now? 258 toward 294, still red on the military alliance. Yeah, we're just gonna have to take over as many of the big cities in the other parts of the world as we can, and hope that the military campaign against the Skaven is something we can wrap up in a couple of turns. Because, man, I don't want to have to actually try to defeat them. That sounds miserable. We'll just grab as many great cities in other parts of the world as possible. We'll fortify our own objective list cities. We'll get armies near their objective list cities, and then we'll try to hit stuff and hopefully end the game in a single turn of warfare, because I definitely don't want to be... We don't want to be in a position where we have to actually try to defend, like, Castle Drakenhof against what might well end up being 10 armies of rats, you know? The Awakened and the Pirates of Sartosa allied up. That does not put us at war with the Awakened, because we were already at war with Sartosa, but I think we were at war with the Awakened for other reasons. I may have gone to war with the Awakened to make the rats like us better or something. Alright, the Khemri are kind of getting there. They might defeat the pirates eventually. That's the thing about a war between two undead forces. They both know that they have all the time in the world. Okay, Orion's riding out. That's interesting. We do need the oak. I mean, we have a lot of stuff going on. We can't really afford to focus on them at this moment, but we also have to try to take advantage of opportunities, right? I don't want to have to run in there and fight three Wood Elf armies on top of all of their other stuff, but at some point we're going to have to do something like that. So we gotta look for moments when they are out, when they are doing other things. Okay, Oglok, it's such slow travel. Stupid Wog slowness. Alright, it looks like the rats have that part under control. We gotta get eyes on Frozen Landing and Silk Tracking over here. Gouger can't really do very much. I guess he can try to stop Orion from moving. Oh, apparently, for some reason, doing that crashed the game. What? This thing is so buggy. Okay, we're getting back in. I've always found this game to be very crashy for me, and I'm not 100% sure why. It's fine. We're loading back in. That is a weird thing to crash it, though, huh? Boy, this sure takes a minute. So how are you? How's everything going? I gotta say, sometimes it does get to feeling like they don't want us to make progress, like the very forces of reality itself are arrayed against us. Hey, there we go. I guess we want to just load the autosave? So this is going to put us right back at the end of the previous turn. We're going to have to watch the sequence of the enemy turns again. And I guess maybe we won't try to block Orion. You know, it could have just had the attempt fail if they didn't want us to do it that badly. It's not a big deal. I was trying to see if I could keep him from wiping out that goblin settlement. If he does, it's whatever. I guess in a sense, it might actually be good for us if the Wood Elves take some territory outside of Athaloran, because it means that their armies are more likely to spread out to play defense. It is really, like, pretty much the worst thing that could happen to us would be our enemies building up a ton of troops and then just sitting in a big pile on top of their best defended settlement. It makes it very difficult to apply our superior numbers. I'm a little surprised this Skaven clan still exists. Like, that they haven't been pushed into confederation with Clan Moors yet. Because Clan Moors probably shares a direct border with them, right? And we've seen the Skaven have no problem just gobbling up every other Skaven clan they come into contact with. They might be able to jump into Athaloran and make something happen. It really is a shame. Like, it looks like stuff is poised to occur in Athaloran, and we're just not at all in a position to take advantage of any of it. The world is too big, and our green legs are too short. So the Khemri have a slightly different system than everybody else does for for being able to recruit troops. They actually have limits on some of their unit types. So the fact that they have a bunch of armies running around with kind of subpar troops is definitely more forgivable than the fact that, like, Clan Moors has a bunch of armies running around with subpar troops. But still, it's a little embarrassing. You show up with three great big ships full of units. All of your enemies are supposed to quake, but if they look at your armies and go, wait a second, that's a bunch of tier 1 infantry and archers, the quaking stops. Alright, so let's just hope it doesn't crash for absolutely no reason again. I guess we were having you run up here. It doesn't make much sense for you to do anything else. You are still headed in the direction you were headed. Gouger will not interfere with the Orion thing. He'll just go take a look over here. Durak Dumb Tamer. What is a... I mean, a dumb must be a thing in Khazalid, right? What do dwarves tame? I'm pretty sure they don't really do mounts. Maybe it just means, you know, other dwarves who aren't so sharp. It does feel a little dehumanizing, de-dwarfenizing, I guess. Alright, we should burn down Longship Graveyard real quick. Should be, yeah, totally trivial. I guess we sack it first. 5,000 gold's not nothing. Definitely grab that. And then, honestly, maybe we blue line him from here? Okay. Is that actually all of my lords? Ushag's moving, Oglok's moving, Wazhumpa is not moving. Here we go. So here in Trollfjord, we need to build Trollfjord up first. It's going to take forever, and we're never going to get defenses. And then... I guess I let him sit for one more turn, and then the fastest way to get to Serpent Jetty is definitely going to be traveling over the ocean. Well, actually, you know what? Underway movement might be a reasonable way to go for this. And this is still my... Oh no, this is Serpent Jetty. Where's the line? Oh, it's right there. Okay. We definitely want to be on this friendly side of the line. So yeah, I think we'll stay put for now. Get that good, friendly city replenishment. At least as best we can. And then I guess we actually are done, except for, of course, our daily check-in with the Skaven. Trending downward already. Always fun. Do you have any wars I can offer to join? No, I have a bunch I can ask you to join. What if I gave you precisely 16,441 gold? It's too many numbers. Okay, there we go. It hesitated for a second there when I clicked the check, and I had a moment. My heart skipped in my chest. Yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with the fact that they're never gonna take the alliance. That is a shame. Which is not to say we're gonna stop trying. But it sucks, man. Somewhere around 200 points of positive reputation, the alliance should probably be guaranteed. You need to have done so much work for somebody, in addition to giving them so much stuff, to get to 200. There's absolutely no reason that an alliance should be failing to happen at 250. So I notice a region here changed colors. Tor Ivrest now owns that. There is one High Elf nation still alive, it looks like. All the stuff around it belongs to the cult. But the High Elves are reasserting themselves in one place. I believe Tor Ivrest is where the new High Elf character is from. So I don't know a ton about his little sub-faction, but maybe they have some really cool toys. That's why they're able to hold off the Dark Elves. He's basically Elf Batman, I believe. So who knows? I don't know how many Dark Elves Batman could beat up, but I bet it's a bunch. We'll have Azhag over there to tell us what the hell is actually going on that island soon enough. This guy is really going to ride out and just have at all of my settlements, huh? He's not going to bother with the Skaven, who have a bunch of undefended holes in the ground in the area. It's just me. Just me and him. Alright, that's fine. Okay, you just keep doing that. Azhag is... We need to be a little careful how we travel, because if we get into water that is too deep, we'll start taking a bunch of ocean attrition. Out of curiosity, how's your army shaping up? Okay, pretty awful, but there is a wyvern. That's fun, at least. Where exactly am I going? Probably the move is we're going down to Castle Carcassonne, so I guess I want to take the south road. Castle Carcassonne and then underway move past the mountains. It might be one or two additional moves beyond what we would have had to do on the ocean, but on the ocean we have to go around this whole landmass here, and then on top of that, of course, there's the pirates. So we see where Throg is building up. We're one turn from Grimgor having all of his recruitment in. It's gonna be, we're gonna see our income per turn drop very sharply when all that recruitment finishes. Gouger is just keeping an eye on stuff. Apparently there are Bjornlings down here. Well, not my problem. That feels like a real not my problem. I guess really, as much as it's fun to keep an eye on what the Wood Elves are doing, your job was to go to Sartosa and get me information about Sartosa. Boy, I have no idea how many moves it's going to take for her to actually catch up with Grimgor. I guess Grimgor has to come down here to fight Mash One Finger anyway. So I suppose that will work. And then, Reknik. Can Reknik fight Wulfric? I mean, he'll just run away, right? Ah, but he didn't get to run very far. Yeah, let's shut him down before he actually recruits anything interesting. And how much money do we get from the battle? Enough that we can give another 30k. I'm okay with it. I'm down to do that. Here, we'll ransom their captors off as well. And charge bonus up for Reknik. Well, I mean, I guess he rides his mount into battle. That's a thing that happens now. Let's get you... Do we want to start blue lining? Does he have a lot of other stuff in the yellow ranks? I guess the goblins. Yeah, let's take the goblin buff. Wait, is this... Hold on, are the archers on this skill? No, this is just siege stuff. Physical resistance, leadership, and weapon strength. So none of these redline skills actually buff the missile effectiveness of goblin troops. This just makes them tougher. You know, that's not so important, I don't think. Let's start grabbing blue line stuff instead. Because we're going to want it. Being able to go into encampment mode off of 0 movement is really nice, actually. This is a big fancy advantage of being greenskins. Wow, that's really trending very far negative. Oh! Hey, they actually went for it. Well, that's lovely. So now we're trending only toward 198, which is fine and maybe doesn't require us to give them gifts at all. I mean, it's pretty important that we keep them sweet, but that's a big deal, that happening. Because first of all, it means we have vision, obviously. That I like that part a lot. But secondly, it means that the objective list, it looks so much better now. Look at all of that. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 for allying with the Lamians, and then just he or I has to get control of one of the other major settlements. And if the Lamians won't play along, then we will go down there and we will kill them. You know what, my dude? I am giving you another big gift just to try to ward off the decay, because obviously it would be pretty bad news for us if he decided to wow, I got it back to exactly 238. That's wild. It'd be real bad news for us if he decided to cancel that alliance. But that's a big deal that worked. And it worked while our reputation with them was falling, which is strange. Okay. Yeah, that's a big turnaround. So we need to get control of one of the High Elf cities or Sartosa or something. Or he does. Either one works. We're going to get a much better view of exactly what his military campaign looks like this turn. So he's got a lot of the northern part of... Wow, there sure are a lot of Dark Elf naval units around. God, we have so much more vision now that we can see out of the eyes of all of the Skaven agents. That's really helpful. Alright, Clanmores, tell me you are close to taking Lothern or something. Because at this point we are so close. We are so very close. He is, in fact, quite close to taking Lothern. It might happen. Yeah, he's got a lot of agents down there on the south. Down there on the south. You know what I mean. So it looks to me like he's got the Dark Elf portion of Norska totally covered. He took Nagarond. That's not a thing I was expecting. Was Nagarond one of the checked cities? I didn't even think to look at it on the objectives list, because why would they have taken Nagarond? And also how he must have confederated the Skaven clan in that area, Tretch Craventail's clan. That's why he has armies up there. Well, it's certainly fascinating. Is he going to get Lothar in this turn? He is running the armies into position. Well, my goodness, this has become a thing. So now we really are all about getting the Lamians to join our military alliance. And it's really in their best interest. If I was from the court of Liberis, I'd be overjoyed to receive the offer. We'll see if that's how they actually feel about it in practice. Khemri riding around, still doing a lot of stuff that all of a sudden I'm way less invested in. Yeah, geez, look at the size of the Clan Wars Empire. So we don't get vision of everything they've ever seen, we just get vision of everything they currently have vision of. So you can see all these little dots where their settlements can see down here in the bottom part of the map. Because holy shit, they own everything. Never mind, oh, we won the short campaign victory. I was going to say, hold on a second, we definitely don't have Nagashizar yet. Let's continue. We can definitely hit the long campaign goal. Recruit Narak to get a bonus to recruiting war beasts. These quests really could use some work. These should give you a buff to your existing units or something. It doesn't make any sense to be like, hey, recruit a huge expensive unit that you only need a couple of to get a bonus to continuing to recruit those kinds of units. By the time I get the bonus, I don't need the bonus anymore. Alright, let's burn this down real quick. We know we're going to do that. May as well just do it. And then you're out of movement, stuck in Norska again. I feel like poor Rachnik he spent a lot of time on a very small patch of land up here. Alright, so, sorry, diplomacy. Let's go talk to the Court of Liberis. They're strength rank 4 now? Wow. Stuff is happening. Okay. What about military alliance, and also I pay you a small amount of gold? So we have to get our reputation with them up now. 17408. You know you want to say yes to this. Okay. So did they take Nagarond before I did my count or after? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So yeah, Lothern does not yet belong to Clan Moors, but it looks like it might any moment now, and when it does, it completes the game for us. We went from, boy, there's still a lot of work left to go, to, hey, I think we win, very quickly here. Well, I guess your job is just to continue heading in the direction of Lothern? Or doesn't even really make sense for him to... If he's going to go to Lothern, if he's going to go to Ulthuan, rather, he's going to Lothern. So actually, it'll be faster to stay in the shallow water along the coast until we get down to, like, here-ish, and then we can cross. Oglok was heading toward Sartosa. Does that even make sense to do anymore? I mean, they don't need me over here. Yeah, I'll let them handle that. Wazhumpa, your whole thing is now very different. I mean, Mitara Moonshadow has no hope of defeating us, right? We have a huge amount... This Wa army actually came out okay. Mostly orc boys. It's a real shame when they have a lot of goblins in them. So do we even want to try to threaten Serpent Jetty? Or I think we want to play kind of defensively now. Yeah, I'll just fall back. That's fine. Back here to where I'm getting a little tiny bit of replenishment. Fert, I don't know, man. Keep an eye on Throg, I guess. Throg's a problem, potentially. Grimgor is gonna make a run toward those savage orcs who are sieging Fort Chakova. Oh, looks like we can just about make it into that army. There we go. So I think... Am I allowed to... Oh, I'm not. I kind of assumed that I would be allowed to access my Regiment of Renown pool in friendly territory, but apparently you have to be in your own territory. That's fine. We'll do it when we get to Fort Chakova. Gouger is still... I mean... In theory, the plan still is worth doing. Wow, Xerxil is actually empty. I'm a little surprised by that. There's so many Skaven forces in the area that I just assume that everything that appears to be empty will turn out not to be when we get closer to it. Does Skaven really like Sartosa? Or no, other way around. Yeah, the Sartosans like the Skaven a lot. We might be able to talk the Skaven into attacking Sartosa, but also I don't think we're going to have to. Also, something tells me that the problem is resolved. Yeah, and again... I'd like to underline how good of a job we're doing of role-playing. We're resolving this campaign exactly the way that orc military campaigns are always resolved in the lore, through a combination of smart economics and diplomacy. So we're going to sit here and watch the Dark Elves do a lot of mindless flailing around. Mitara Moonshadow is going to take a bunch of damage out in the ocean, and then we might even be in a position where we could sail out from our little port there and catch her in the act. Because that is a proper port, so we don't have to pay the embarking penalty. And then if Clan Moors will attack Lothern this turn, that would be real good for us. Sometimes, even when they have a huge advantage, the AI will just keep a settlement under siege for like half a dozen turns for no reason. I hope that that is not what we're seeing here. Oh, that looks like a little... Wow, they're really bringing in the reinforcements. Oh, he burned Lothern. Please settle it. Okay, cool. I think we're going to win the game at the beginning of our turn then. God, I'm glad that this actually worked out, because we could have done the thing they've done here. But honestly, given their aggressiveness, without the military alliance... Like what I was saying when I was a moment ago saying we could have done the thing they've done here... we need them not to do it, though, right? Like, the plan that we had where, like, we'll go to Nagarond and we'll take some High Elf cities. It doesn't work if Clan Moors does that first. If we hadn't gotten the military alliance with them, I'm not actually sure how we would have been able to win the game. It might have been actually a complete nightmare, so I'm really glad things went down the way they did. I was very much not expecting them to have control of the entire western half of the map, which we can now see from the colors on the mini-map. They absolutely totally do. The campaign is about to come to an end, and our time on the map is about to come to an end, and we're not going to think about it anymore. But, like, if you were to extend the history of this place another 100 turns or so, Clan Moors conquers the entire world and eats everybody, right? Like, we quote-unquote win, but probably only in the very short term. What a terrifying empire they've managed to put together. And a lot of it with armies that are running around with like half a dozen units of warp drillers and stuff, too. I don't really understand how that even happened. Oh, don't you dare. Okay, I was going to say, if that army burned down Nagashizar this turn, it would have been very unfortunate. Campaign complete. The war will go on, for that is the nature of this turbulent world, but for this moment, we can claim victory. In a world of chaos, a time of heroes, an age of war, you have overcome every challenge laid before you and faced down every foe bent upon your destruction. This strange and dangerous realm, riven with battle, bloodshed, and slaughter, twisted beyond sanity by the warping power of chaos, has seen the foundering of many a mighty empire, yet yours remains triumphant and unconquered, victorious in defiance of all. Whilst other races have shown nothing but weakness, wasting their time on nonsense such as honor and duty, the Greenskins have followed their nature, given to them by Gork and Mork, striving against each other until none but the mightiest remain to engulf the world in an endless war. Again, probably, just like mathematically speaking, not the thing that's going to happen. That was a pretty weird game. That's, I imagine, not usually how Orc campaigns come to an end. I don't know what the hell happened with Clan Moors. Again, like a lot of their armies we saw running around with pretty unimpressive troops, and then on top of that, Skaven get totally murdered by the auto-resolve on a very regular basis, which is a thing we've experienced from both sides. So I don't know how they were winning all of those battles. I don't know how they completely wiped out the orcs, or not the orcs, the dwarves down south, because we know it wasn't Grimgor's faction of orcs that did it. All of the other orcs in the world got their asses completely handed to them. And somehow the Skaven just held out in a battle that should have been very much not in their favor. So if we just accelerate this a little bit. It's a little tiny bit hard to tell what's happening here because unfortunately Reichland is one color of red and the Clan Moors is a slightly different color of red. Major factions that are this close together probably should have slightly more contrasting color schemes. And then this thing happens. And like 80% of the world map is Clan Moors colored. And like, we're not very far from the end of the Dark Elves. At this point, with the loss of Nagashizar and all of this stuff, they will have lost the vast majority of their money-making. There's like a gold mine or something in these mountains, but they would have found themselves in a place where they are hard-pressed to maintain more than a few armies, and the Skaven would have just rolled over them trivially. What a very strange game. Let's take a quick look at our statistics here before we call it for the day. Turn 202. All this diplomacy. Look at all the diplomacy we did. Does it show gifts given? I would love to know how much money I gave in total to the Skaven. Nope, it does not. For some reason, does not make that clear. We did all right on battles. 236 battles fought, 184 won. Actually, kind of a worse record than you would really hope for. And here I thought this whole thing was going to unfold with us becoming friends with the vampires, and then leading a great big like zombie and greenskin invasion over the rest of the world. Just goes to show you that nobody ever profited from underestimating a rat. Alright, that is going to be it for us for today and for this campaign. It happened a little bit abruptly. I thought there was still quite a bit left to go. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. We're going to take a little break from Total War Warhammer, but I definitely want to do more. We will be doing more campaigns in the near future. So if you would like to suggest something specific, feel free to leave that in the comments below. I've been looking into mods. All of our gameplay so far has been totally vanilla, but in particular, I would like to pursue mods that let us get more combined forces type battles. I know there's a semi-popular mod that lets you recruit a limited number of units from any faction that you have a military alliance with. I think that would be a really fun way to mix up the gameplay. And then, of course, there's factions we haven't played yet. There's lots and lots of legendary lords we haven't been, even if we play as a faction we have done before. So let me know in the comments what kind of stuff you would like to see. I don't know exactly when the next Total War Warhammer campaign will be, but it probably won't be too far away. I do enjoy the game an awful lot. Anyway, that's it for us. We are out of time for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back sometime soon for more of this, and tomorrow for something different, some more weird stuff. And we'll see you then.